Would a sudden earthquake lead to the collapse of the United States? You may say, Gina, why are you talking about a sudden earthquake leading to the collapse of the United States? I don't know. I really don't know. That just entered my mind. I was thinking, what if a major earthquake occurred and it sped up a certain chain of events. It created a chain reaction, and the United States collapsed because we're already pretty fragile right now. The economy and everything else that's going on in the world. And if you would add to it a major, major earthquake, that would further deteriorate the situation that is happening here. And I think it would have a chain reaction across the world also. And do I think a sudden earthquake is coming? No, I don't think it. I don't. It's just hypothetical speaking that entered my mind. But really, all it would take is something like that. A very, very, very large quake to disrupt everything. It really would. And it would just add more stress upon even stressor, a very stressful situation that we're already in. I'm having a hot flash. Gotta take off my socks. My feet are getting hot. I have just stopped for the day. It was around 1 hour ago. I've been going nonstop all day long, and this is when I stop. When I sit down here at this computer, my day is almost finished. So I looked at the earthquake map. I did, and we can look at it right here. You can see it right like this. I hope you all can hear me because I did not look over here at this channel at all. I didn't. And hello there, Susan B. Honey. Hello there, Apple Brooks. You all looked at the earthquakes right here. And I was going to do my video. Why is that doing that? I was going to do my video, it was around 15 minutes ago. My sound wasn't working at all. And I thought, what is going on? So I rebooted and my sound still wasn't working. It was working before that thought came into my head. Can you hear me? I hope you can. Why is that doing that right here? Can you see that flashing like that? I wonder if any of the other ones are flashing. And if you were to have a major earthquake in a large metropolitan area, it would be quite devastating, you all. Extremely devastating to that economy, and it would reverberate is what it would do. Have a reverberating effect. I don't know why that's moving like that. Perhaps it's just the color. Perhaps it's just the color. So I did a search. When that thought entered my mind, I did a search. And I just typed it in right here. I typed in an earthquake warning. Okay. So a magnitude 6.6 earthquake strikes Easter Island. And you can see it's in the Gulf News 1 hour ago. So magnitude 6.6 earthquake strikes Easter Island region. Quake depth at 33 kilometers with no tsunami warning and no reports of damage. July the 13th? It's already July the 13th, you all? Where did time go? Time is going so fast. Let's go. I want to go to Easter Island. I really do. Let's stop this. Let's type in Easter Island so you can see it on the Google Maps. Easter Island. We're going to see where Easter Island is. Oh, that's Easter Island right there. I always wondered what was over there on Easter Island. I mean, over there in that area of the ocean. Because the lightning strikes would like go over here at times. And I thought, there's nothing over here. Now, if we look at the earthquake map for that area, let's see if we can find it, you all. Let's go over here. Boom. There it is right there. Let's turn that thing on. It's a 6.8 earthquake. Let's see what the 6.8. Unless they redid it. It struck right there. It's not saying when it happened, but it did happen right there. So let's go back here, you all. And this is serious. It really is. Would a sudden earthquake like cause a collapse of the United States? It would certainly trigger something happening. It would. So look at this earthquake thing right here. I don't like these silly cookie things. I really don't. Magnitude, I keep pressing this. Magnitude 6.6 strikes. See, now they said 6.6, and the earthquake 3D said it was 6.8 on Easter Island. Right here, you can see it. 6.8, but if we were to come over here, let's read a little bit more. Well, that's it. Well, that's all there is. I guess because it just came in. That's fine. Let me put this right here, you all, because I really did. I like to document as we go. That way, you know, if you wanted to go back and read any information yourself, you can do it. So I want to see what else they said about it. Tsunami waves. What now? See, now look at this. This is 2 days ago. They're talking about tsunami waves as high as 42 feet could crash into Seattle, Washington within minutes of an earthquake. And here you got this 6.6 right here. So let's see. I don't know what Dutch Sense might be talking about. I wonder if he's talking about some other type of a earthquake coming. I haven't watched him in years. I used to watch him all the time. So let's hear this. Let me see if we can.
In March 2011, the world watched in awe and horror as a colossal tsunami ravaged eastern Japan. The result of a 9.0 magnitude earthquake. Entire cities were washed away. Millions stranded without power or water. 15,000 died. It was an otherworldly event, thousands of miles away. Thank goodness, many of us thought. It couldn't happen here. But it could happen here. In fact, scientists say it's a question of when, not if, a devastating earthquake, followed by a huge tsunami, strikes the continental United States, right here in the Pacific Northwest.
This would be like 5 or 6 Katrinas all at once, up and down from California to Canada would be the closest thing I can think of.
It may sound like a Hollywood disaster movie, but it's not. This is the future for the region's 7 million people, says Chris Goldfinger, a paleoseismologist at Oregon State University. In fact, his research shows much of the region is overdue for a major quake. The last one was back in 1700, long before there were large cities right in harm's way.
If it happens anytime soon, it would just devastate the area.
Goldfinger estimates there's a 1 in 3 chance the quake will strike sometime in the next 50 years.
Would you say that we're prepared for something like this?
We're not completely unprepared, but we're pretty darn close. On a scale of 1 to 10, we're probably a little shy of 1 at this point.
This is Ground Zero, the 700-mile-long area off the Pacific coast called the Cascadia Subduction Zone, where the North American tectonic plate meets another plate known as the Juan de Fuca.
The dark image we're seeing here is literally sliding under the lighter image.
That's right. So they're converging but still stuck. And so what happens is the weaker plate, which is North America, buckles. And eventually something's going to give. So the coastline that's been jacked up over 500-ish years or so is going to drop about a meter in about a minute or so.
And that's just the earthquake. Next, as we saw in Japan, comes a tsunami, with waves as high as 50 feet roaring on shore, reaching miles inland. It's a threat the government says it's taking seriously. But
Is FEMA ready for the big one?
I would never say we are ready.
Ken Murphy is the administrator for FEMA Region 10.
These represent the roads that
Can you all hear that? And I wasn't planning on sitting here doing a video on earthquakes. I wasn't sure what I was going to do a video on, and the word earthquake entered my mind. Could a sudden earthquake, or would a sudden earthquake lead to the collapse of the United States? I'm sure it would have a devastating effect. Now we can watch the rest of this because it's 8 minutes long. It's 3 minutes and 24 seconds into there. If you all would like to hear the rest of it. Hello, Jay Joslin. You all welcome to hear. Christine Mott. No, this is true, not just fear. Yeah. Yeah, we can play this. We can finish watching the rest of this if you all would like, because I've not heard of this before. I really haven't. I've heard about the East Coast and West Coast maybe under the water, but not this one right here. Yeah, let's finish watching it since there is a delay.
can be affected by the earthquake, or out here on the coastline can be affected by the tsunami.
The agency has spent years preparing the federal response. FEMA's best case scenario, 10,000 dead. And that's assuming no beach tourists, which would lead to their worst case scenario, simply too terrifying to contemplate.
Depending on when it happens, we're talking numbers that this nation, I'm not sure, is really prepared to deal with.
Potentially the greatest natural disaster this country has ever experienced?
I would say it has the potential for that. This is an event you send everything to and scale back down if you don't need it.
The quake could displace 1 million people from Northern California to Southern Canada. Large parts of Seattle, Portland, and Vancouver will crumble. In coastal towns, roads and bridges will likely be impassable, stranding whole communities. The region's economy could collapse. Rebuilding might take years, even decades. And few places are more at risk than this one. It's Seaside, Oregon's school complex. 1,500 students in 4 aging buildings. Superintendent Doug Doherty.
Structural engineers tell us that a vast majority of the building will collapse in a seismic event.
3 of Seaside's 4 schools are also in the tsunami zone. In fact, its high school is just feet away from the Pacific Ocean.
Wow.
The students and staff, if they are able to evacuate, earthquake start, have between 15 and 20 minutes to get to high ground, 1.3 miles. And that's one of those other pieces that keeps me awake at night.
100 miles to the north in Westport, Washington, Acosta Elementary is another school with seemingly no way out. So it built its own way out.
Doing a great job.
Straight up. A new school building, currently under construction, offers safe and high ground right on its roof. It's the country's first vertical evacuation structure, with walls 44 feet high and 14 inches thick.
Run as fast as you can. Get up into the tsunami safe area.
Superintendent Paula Ackerland says voters approved an additional $2 million for the emergency structure.
We're watching a video, I think it's from a news channel, about if a tsunami were to hit that coast. I guess it's Oregon. The schools are right off the shore, and they built an area on top for the children to go to. And I didn't know they'd say this would literally cause a lot of devastation. Millions will be displaced and stuff. It does sound serious.
Community, they were looking at the safety of not just their children now, but generations in the future. This is not an affluent community, so it's a huge commitment.
Other evacuation plans and seismic upgrades are taking place, but not nearly fast enough, say the experts. Back at Seaside, Oregon, 3 years ago, the school district did try moving all its students to a new campus. But when they found out it would take an 18% property tax increase, the voters rejected the measure by a margin of almost 2 to 1.
Were you surprised? Oh, I was not only surprised but heartbroken. It's just very, very expensive for our local citizens to foot the bill entirely. I hope people don't understand the implications of their decisions, because that would basically be writing off an entire school district student population.
With no money from the state or the federal government, Doug Doherty says he's planning to retire and work for another ballot campaign for a new campus. As for Oregon State's Chris Goldfinger, he continues to warn about a disaster that science says is just a matter of time.
This is going to scare a lot of people.
Well, I don't think that's a bad thing. If you're really well prepared and the infrastructure is hardened, that can be the end of it. If you don't plan at all, it's going to be a catastrophe. And then there's just nothing you can do about that.
We begin with breaking news, because tonight we're getting an excruciating look inside Robb Elementary School.
So, that was CBS News, an 8-minute thing about tsunami. Waves as high as 42 feet, you all, right there. And why would they talk about that just 2 days ago? And this is 5 hours ago. No tsunami threatened California after the Easter Island earthquake. Is that the only earthquake they're going to have in that region? I'm not an earthquake expert at all. I know someone who is. Yes, I do. And I hope that he's not seeing something like this happening. I really hope he isn't. You can see tsunami waves would reach Seattle within minutes after an earthquake, says the study. You have to ask yourself, you all, why Why do they have this now? Why now are they showing something like this? Is what I'm wondering. That's right, Mr. Dutch Sense. That's right. So if you're just wondering why I got on here and did this, I didn't know what I was going to do. I've been busy all day long and I didn't think about what I'm going to do. I just wait to see if something comes in my mind. And that's what came into my mind. This title, Would a Sudden Earthquake Lead to the Collapse of the United States? How about the United States as we know it? And I think it would have a devastating impact and a devastating effect. I really do. Look at these earthquake early warnings around the world with the geological survey, Pacific Northwest earthquake warning, shake alert. When's that happening? When are they doing their shake alert? You can, I'm going to put this in here so you all can see this shake alert that they do. And they've been practicing for years about, the great whatever shakeout things that they do. They have a My Shake app, wireless emergency alert, purpose-built apps, Android operating symptoms. I can't get it out, you all. I'm having trouble getting the words out of my mouth. I am slowly. What's a shake alert? It's an early earthquake warning system that can detect earthquakes rapidly a few seconds after they begin. A shake alert is not an earthquake prediction. Ground motion sensors near earthquakes feel the ground shaking and they relay the information to a data processing center. Shake alert algorithms quickly estimate the strength of the earthquake and the areas that will likely feel the shaking. During an earthquake, the United States Geological Survey rapidly publishes this information as raw data. The USGS licensed technical partners take this information and they turn it into public alerts, such as notifications in smartphone apps and announcements on PA systems. Other technical partners might take the USGS shake alert data and use it to take automatic actions, including slowing trains to prevent derailment, stopping elevators at the nearest floor and opening the doors, opening the firehouse doors so they are not stuck shut, throttle the water utility valves to prevent emptying of reservoirs, activating backup generators at hospitals to ensure continued services. So they got a lot of stuff in place, it seems, and you got this little pictorial things like the slow down the trains on the track, opening up the doors, elevators on the nearest floor, shutting off the valves at the, throttle the valves at the municipal water systems, and activating their backup generators. This is what it is, you all. So this is what happens. They have a fault that happens. First felt wave, the sensors go off, send it to the satellites, and then boom, they send the information out. And how early can you get it? Well, I guess as early as they can get it out to you. So yeah, this is if you feel shaking, drop cover and hold on. If you're in a building, I think I might want to get out of that building and keep that building from falling down on me. Did I put this on here? I think I did. Yeah, I just wanted to get on here and see if there was anything out there about this, about an earthquake, and that's the results on what you just saw. Could this new earthquake, where's this at, you all? Where's this earthquake at right here? Earth.com. It looks like the ground is split in two. Could the new earthquake warning system save lives? Well, okay, that's... Look at this. Market business. This would send the alert. Crowdsourced earthquake warnings right here. Earthquake early warnings, moderate shaking expected, all of this stuff. So I really wonder if we would go to a time-specific date on this right here. If we did a specific time search, would it show up any earthquake news other than what we're seeing right here? We have these right here. Strong shaking expected. So let's see if there's any other news that's coming out. A earthquake warning 1 day ago. More than half of the U.S. buildings are at risk of natural disasters such as earthquakes and hurricanes. Future earthquake tsunami could bury Seattle shores under 20 feet. So the New York Post is running this story too. Did you all see these is what I'm wondering. Did you see the articles that were put out on the earthquakes? Because if you don't read the news or you don't see no headlines, I'm wondering if these headlines, or if you do read the news or, try to read whatever you can and look at whatever you can, were these hidden or just tucked away somewhere in an area where people wouldn't see them? Were they? Is the question. Seattle has a huge underground. It's built over. Wow. So did you all see these right here? An obelisk that was destroyed by the Vatican right here. Future earthquake could bury. Yeah, about an hour ago, Deborah. Then you had rain. The Mississippi River. Well, there was a time when the earthquake occurred a long time ago. I think in the 1800s, the Mississippi went backwards, is what it did. Yeah. So if you hadn't seen any of this, they obviously put some articles out there, and they're talking about this hypothetically, and yet a future major earthquake centered under Seattle's Puget Sound could trigger a tsunami that would bury the waterfronts under 20 feet of water for hours, according to a new study released Thursday by the Washington State Department of Natural Resources. Let me put this here in case no one's seen this article. Why are they talking about a specific area of Washington? Why that area? Why not another area for them to talk about? Is what I'm wondering. But you can see it right there. I gotta get a drink of water, you all. Now let's look at this. So they're specifically talking about Puget Sound triggering a tsunami that would bury the waterfronts under 20 feet of water hours. And the study shows the potential aftermath of a tsunami triggered by a magnitude 7.5 along the Seattle fault zone, which crosses east and west through the Puget Sound and downtown Seattle. Scientists along those Seattle area waterfronts and islands across the sound would have only about 3 minutes after the earthquake before the tsunami would arrive. That is not much time at all. If you're in that area, 3 minutes is not enough time to get out of harm's way at all. If you were in a building, it would take, depending where you're parked, it would take at least 3 minutes to get in your car and try to get out. And if everybody's trying to get out of that area at the same time, there's going to be a bottleneck, is what it's going to be, a bottleneck, and nobody's going to go nowhere except get carried away by the waves and the water. Yeah, so waves could reach as high as 42 feet. I'm going to put it right here. along the downtown Seattle waterfront near the Great Wheel, with floodwaters several feet deep, eventually inundating Lumen Field and T-Mobile Park, home to the Seattle Seahawks and Mariners. The inundation would last as long as 3 hours and could keep water as deep as 20 feet, the study found. The floodwaters would spread up and down the inland area, flooding Tacoma, 30 miles to the south, under 6 feet of water as far as 3 Miles Island. Experts say the last known earthquake to happen in Seattle Fault happened around 1100 years ago. There's that number 11. Geological evidence show that it was powerful enough to thrust the beach at Restoration Point on Bainbridge Island upward by 23 feet. My gosh, that's enormous. 23 feet. It could thrust the beach at Restoration Point on Bainbridge Island upward by 23 feet, while dropping the land at Seattle's West Point by 3 feet, according to the Department of Natural Resources. If another quake happens, the study suggests that the land level changes could create an entirely new shoreline in many locations near Seattle Fault Zone. So we can see the study of what would happen right here with it. Lake Union was not included in the tsunami study. Why wasn't Lake Union not included in the tsunami studies? Because the tsunami's not going to make it that far. I think that's the reason. It's not going to make it that far. The wave arrival would be 2 minutes, and the first wave would crest after 3 minutes, you all. And that's in that area, and then down here at the bottom. So I'm not understanding why they're talking about this at this specific time in history. I really am not. If it were to happen, say within the next few days, wait a minute. I'm thinking something, you all. I am. Just wait 1 minute. Yeah. I wonder where the important public speakers would be at during that time, and would the spotlight be turned on them, is what I'm wondering. Despite major time gap since the last earthquake, look, they're telling you, despite the major time gap since the last earthquake, scientists say another earthquake is still possible. Geological evidence show there were 5 additional earthquakes averaging a 6.5 in the Seattle Fault Zone in the last 3,500 years. Well, that was about last time frame when the Nibiru thing comes around every like 3,600 years or something. I'm not just quite certain. Although the chances of this happening in our lifetime is low, it's important for families to get prepared now. Maximilian Dixon. What a name. Maximilian Dixon, the Hazards and Outreach Program Supervisor for the Washington Emergency Management Division, said in a press conference announcing the study, "The ground shaking will be your warning that a tsunami may be on the way. Make sure you know where the closest high ground is and the quickest route to get there. Get signed up for tsunami alerts. This is the timing, really, the timing for this is puzzling. It makes me think, it really does. It's a little unsettling. I don't know if this is their great shakeout month or week or whatever right now on the West Coast, but Maximilian Dixon has said the ground shaking will be your warning that a tsunami may be on the way, and make sure you know where the closest high ground is and the quickest route to get there. Get signed up for the tsunami and local alerts. Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell says studies like this are a critical tool for the city to understand risk and prepare for future emergencies. But emergency officials acknowledge the study's results can be scary, but they stress that the study used a maximum considered event, meaning it has a low probability of occurring. This sounds legitimately terrifying. We get it. This earthquake could happen before an alert hits your phone, said officials with the Washington Department of Emergency Management. If you feel an earthquake, drop, cover, and hold on. Then evacuate to high ground and get as far inland as you quickly as possible. So that was filed under Earthquake, Natural Disasters, Seattle Tsunamis, July the 10th of 2022. You all, this is really the size McGrath. Was there a spike? Let me ask this. Has there been a spike in the Schumann resonance within the past 2 days, specifically around 2 days ago, 2.5 days ago, or 1.5 days ago? Was there a spike in it? A major spike is what I'm wondering. Java Alium, they've been doing tests for months now at the reactors. Where is that located? Who are they and what state might that be in Java, honey? Yes, there has, Jacob. Okay. I'm trying to, yeah. I know this is a few minutes behind you. I really am. So if y'all seen a pause in this video, I was just waiting for a response in the comment section about this, because I find it rather alarming that these future earthquake and tsunami could bury Seattle's shores. And earthquake summary warning for July the 12th. Who's Al, honey? Who is arguing with you? Yeah, please don't be arguing on here. This is not a place to argue at all. It isn't. Yeah. Don't make me come over here, because I will come right over here and see what's happening, is what I will do. Yes. Yeah, no, we don't want arguments on here. John Smith. Yeah, please, what I don't know what you're saying, but don't be saying stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, we could get ourselves in trouble. We don't talk about that. We're talking about earthquakes is what we're talking about. Thank you. So that, okay, you all got it under control. This is great. I'm over here looking at the chat section. That's right. That's what we're looking at. Hey, Sky Share 7. That's great. It is kind of like kindergarten. It's time. Sometimes it's nice to go back in time and pretend like we're children and we don't have a care in the world. Sometimes it's good to go back and just not have a care in the whole entire world. It really is. But that's okay. It is. California earthquake warning, 6.3. Quake rocks the U.S. West. Where is this at? Oh, we're going to look at this. Who is Jody Maroney? I just want to see this one here. I don't like to be on here that long. I don't. 3 days ago. Let's see when this thing was written. Sean Martin. No, you're 2018. This is late. See, this is an old article. I'm not going to that, you all. I'm not going to it at all, but let's see this. 5 days ago. Super. Oh my gosh, you all. Super volcano horror warning. Oh my gosh. That sounds wild. Oh my gosh. That is really wild, you all. Super volcano horror warning. What a headline that is. Firefighters are tackling Rainford barn blaze amid plumes of smoke. What is Rainford? Let me pause that right there. Rainford barn blaze. What is it? St. Helens. A fire in St. Helens. I don't know what that is. Liverpool. It's at 12:50 a.m. UK's 12th largest fire service arrived at the scene. Early hours received a call. So they tackled the blaze with main branch hoses. A brigade warned the area should avoid, and I don't know what was in that area, but it's on fire. So, yeah, this is what we're talking about right here. So, no, I'm not supposed to be looking at that. I'm talking about this super volcano horror. Super volcano horror movie right here. Warning. It's not a movie, you guys. Oh, gosh. I put that right there, but I'm supposed to be putting it over here in this description. That type of language in an article, that sounds really wild. A super volcano horror warning. The world's most active volcano is slowly rising from under the lake. I don't know which one that is. Yes, you are. Please give this a thumbs up. Yellowstone. Oh, is that which one they're talking about? Yellowstone volcano. I don't know what this is on. Let's hear what they're talking about, because if this is how do I get that thing off of there, you? I don't want to collapse it. I think that they might be talking about this. Let's see what they're talking about. Yellowstone. Okay, I think they must have been talking about Yellowstone. Let's look at this. Maybe not. Oh no, they're talking about Lake Taupo, a serene water body located at the center of New Zealand's North Island, actually sits within a prehistoric caldera. Hello, Keith, honey. Thank you. Caldera, or a large volcanic crater. This crater was formed after the Earth's most recent super eruption. The Oronui eruption rocked the region 25,400 years ago. Over the past few decades, scientists have been studying the lake and the regions around it, only to reach the worrying conclusion that the volcano could still be active. So let's see where Lake Taupo is located. Let's go to the Google Earth, you all. And let's put that in over here if we can. Let me do this paste. I'm sorry, I was not even on here when I was reading that. I am so sorry. Let's look at this. So New Zealand, let's see where it's located. Now I've pushed that button. If it does not take you all on here, there it is right there. Why does that water look like it has things growing through it? So right there is where a ancient volcano is located. Right there. Let's do something really fast. Let's go over here really fast to the see what's happening. See if there's any lightning going over there to that area. Of course, you see it's still nonstop here too in the United States, but over there in that area of New Zealand, let's see, because it's located right down here. And at times you don't see all of the lightning strikes that come to this area. It looks like it's kind of quiet over here. Okay, that's good. It's quiet, so that's fine. That one's quiet. Everything else is, well, you can see what they're doing. They got it going all over the place. Let's put the lightning map on here again. I get myself in trouble with that. I really do, with the lightning things, because I like to, if we see it, see what the lightning's doing, because it's never went away. So this super volcano right here, they think it may still be active. So why do they call it a super volcano horror warning? The world's most active volcano slowly rises from under the lake. Well, it sounds like a big old, maybe it's a home to some type of extraterrestrials, and their land, or interdimensional beings or inner earth beings, and their land is like rising up from inside the volcano. Now that could be true. It really could be there's stuff rising up inside the volcano. But yeah, so one earthquake warning. U.S. is on alert as the a U.S. on alert as expert says the West Coast will be hit. A major earthquake will strike the northwest of the U.S., and when it does, it will be catastrophic. One expert has warned it will be catastrophic. Look how they say will. It will hit and it will strike. Look at that word, strike. Why would they use the word strike in that statement? A major earthquake and catastrophic will. Fox News, if you hadn't seen it, I haven't heard anything about it. Seattle earthquake. They're all saying the same thing. Even Fox News. Seattle earthquake could produce a 42-foot tsunami that would impact all those areas. California unveils their earthquake warning. Let's get this, you all. So let me do this. We got to stick this in here too. So you got California unveiling their earthquake warning also. They're also on the West Coast. They're all in synchronicity, I would assume. It would reach Seattle, the greater Seattle, in just 3 minutes. 42 minutes, there's that. What is this? Let's see this. Oh, sorry, something went wrong. Okay, I guess they don't want you to see it. Look at that, you all. They don't want us to look at that. That's really interesting, isn't it? Right there. New system sends earthquake warnings through an app and the wireless system that issues the Amber Alerts Insight from Berkeley Seismological. So they've done it too. The waves would hit the shoreline during that time frame in many places on the eastern side of Bainbridge Island, Elliott Bay, and Alki Point, Lumen Field, and T-Mobile Park. So we've already saw this. We have the Space Needle and Mount Rainier are seen on the skyline of Seattle. 20 feet. Here's the skyline, and there's that. I guess that's the wheel. That's fine. I think I'm done. I am done. I'm done with this, you all. So would an earthquake lead to the collapse of the United States? And that's what entered my mind when I sit down here at the computer after eating my salad. I thought, I don't know what I'm going to do a video on, but that the word earthquake and collapse came to my mind. So I said, well, I guess I'll look at the earthquake map. And I was going to go live, but my audio was off on my OBS, so I had to reboot my computer, and my audio was still off. So I had to restart it, shut it completely down, restart it, and then I thought, well, I guess I'm not supposed to speak about it, so I'm going to speak about it. So that's what I spoke about right here. Would it lead to the collapse of the United States? It would have a devastating effect, and there are current articles where they're talking about a earthquake and a tsunami hitting the west coast of the United States in certain states, and the loss of life, especially the school systems that are close to the shorelines. And the one school system, the people in that region did not want an 18% rise in their taxes so that they could rebuild, I guess, location for their children in a different area. I don't know what happened, you all. I hope that nothing like this happens. I really do. I hope that, it's good to prepare. It really is, because you never know when any type of disaster could strike. You don't know, but you want to be prepared somehow, some way. You really do. Even if you only take 10 to 15 minutes to prepare somehow, at least that's better than nothing at all. Yeah. So I'm going to go. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, you all. And thank you once again for tuning in. And stay safe and stay strong right inside of here. You got to stay strong no matter what comes your way right here. As strong as you can, okay? And if you got to pray to stay strong or meditate or whatever it is, do it. Okay. Love you. Good night.